All right, so who's this little guy? Because it looks kind of familiar.
It does look familiar. So we've had the Galil out in the U.S., the Ace version is what it's called, for a while, and we have 3 variants of it. We have the 7.6251 rifle, 7.6251 pistol, believe it or not, with a stabilizing brace.
Okay.
The 5.56.
So what barrel length on the pistol would be?
The pistol on this one is 8.3 inches, exact same size.
Setup. Okay.
The 5.56 Galil Ace pistol with stabilizing brace has an 8.3 inch barrel. Okay. It looks very extremely similar. Has a lot of the same features. Obviously not full auto.
Okay.
And then we make it in 7.6239, full size rifle, and then a pistol as well. So in Israel, they do make the Ace rifle, assault rifle, in all those calibers and in those shorter lengths as well. Some full size rifles, or if the particular nation, would like something shorter for a particular special team, that's what they do. So the Galil is not essentially a new idea. The Galil's been around for a long time. The older version that they had in Israel, the 5.56 version in particular, had a 35 round. It was a proprietary magazine. It kind of rocked in, sort of like an AK.
So the same curve and everything.
It had a not
as
an extreme
curve. Okay.
It looked kind of M4-esque. Actually, it was straighter, but it still rocked in.
Why 35 rounds?
They wanted to have 5 more rounds. They just went that route. It stuck out a little bit longer, and they actually had a full-size rifle. And then they had a mini Galil. They had a sniper version of the Galil in 308. Right. I mean, they had a lot of different versions of it. But the thing that they didn't have was they didn't have Picatinny rail on top. They weren't thinking about that at the time. That wasn't a thing. I mean, it's not them. It's just nobody did that.
To me now, that seems blasphemous. What was the first thing I asked you? I was like, wait, do these rail covers come off?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, where are my rails?
These rail covers, rail covers come off, and you have all that underneath. But back in the 80s in particular, nobody was thinking about that stuff. And the older Galil also had an upturned charging handle, so it faced up. And what it was very similar to the Uzi. So when you reloaded the older Galil, you rocked it in, you went over the top and you racked it. The bolt didn't lock to the rear. So you get a click, kind of like an AK. Right. And they took some inspiration from the AK, they took some inspiration from the Valmet, and they kind of had a baby, and that's how the Galil was born, Some of the things that the older Galil had was like an AK-47-esque.
Kind of safety lever.
Safety, yep. You pulled on this side to make it go into fire mode. So it was forward. This one's opposite. You actually push forward
for safety.
To make it fire.
To make it okay.
To make it fire. The old one you actually pulled back on it, and that would put it in semi, and then you pushed forward one click, and that was full.
Any specific reasons why they changed it?
More ergonomic.
Okay.
Yeah, it just makes sense to do it that way. Again, the older Galil didn't have a bolt lock. This does. Yes. So they got rid of the proprietary magazine, and they use a regular Stanag M4 pattern type magazine. And this one's empty, so when it runs out, the bolt catches on the right side. Okay. So it's kind of cool because it's got a mag release, no longer the paddle. They went with an M4-esque ambidextrous release. So you just drop the magazine, you insert the new mag, and then you just come up and you push down with your index finger, and that loads the weapon.
Could you do it, on...
You can do it on the right side with your index finger if you want to. Now, you could grab the charging handle. The charging handle does reciprocate, okay? But you can grab the charging handle and release it that way too. That's kind of up to you. They got rid of that big open gap like the AK or the older Galil had because, again, they're trying to seal the gun. They're trying to make it, more tolerant to the elements. And what they did was they put a steel curtain on the right side. Now that's similar to an FNC. If you're familiar with the FNC. So what happens when the bolt's cycling back and forth? This is rocking back and forth, up and down, and it's trying to seal the gun. It actually does work pretty well. One of the other things that they modified on the gun is they obviously changed the length of pull and then the comb height riser. You can actually attach this if you're running an optic on top.
Yeah, I actually like the stock a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's comfortable, and it kind of drives it down. When you do have a taller optic like this, you can get a good cheek weld on it. It pushes the gun down in. It makes it very controllable. Some of the things that they kept from the old Galil. The old Galil had tritium sights in the front and back. This still has tritium sights front and back.
I don't know why it's not more normal, like
on iron
like
sights?
More modern. Like I'm not saying more modern, but like on AR-15s here in the States.
Because a lot of people are running this now, and that's kind of this is backup. It's not a primary, but I like the idea of having that. If you have iron sights, being able to see them in the dark, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
This sight can be removed. You can actually pull the whole thing off. So let's say I want to put a 1:6 optic on my longer rifle. I can now bolt it right down there. eye relief will be right. I can get the scope exactly where I need it. So that takes care of that. Obviously, without the upturned charging handle, now you can have a pick rail. So that kind of helps everything. You got a lot of advantages because it's a long stroke gas piston system. So it chugs through a lot. It's very aggressive when it kicks the brass out. You're going to see that today, but it works every time, which is the most important thing.
Awesome.
Any questions?
No, I mean, it's because I remember seeing the older Galils and just in the way things were set up on that particular platform, and I can see like the changes they've made. To kind of more, would you call it modernizing or more?
Yeah, they had to upgrade. They had to modernize the system.
Yeah, just a bit, but I like it. It still kind of holds true to the essence of what the Galil was to begin with.
Exactly.
You know, without basically turning it into a bastardized AR-15.
They had to. They wanted to keep the operating system because it worked extremely well. Again, it's kind of like the Tavor, the SAR.
Yeah.
They don't change the bolt system. It worked good. So don't mess with that. Let's modify the things that we can. And very smooth action. They're milled receivers too. They're not stamped.
Not stamped? Okay.
They're not stamped. They're milled. And that, I'm going to tell you right now, I've been there. I've seen it, the way they do it. It's a lot of work to make that happen.
Now, is there a reason why they prefer? Now, I know the typical common reasons why somebody would prefer stamped over milled, so forth. So at least, especially when it comes to AKs, right? Why? What was the incentive for them to stick to being milled instead of stamped?
It always was on the Galil. Yeah. It was always a milled receiver. They last. It's a matter of it being robust, and you can see how smooth everything is too.
Gotcha.
So they want it to last forever. Now, I was just in Israel a little while ago, and I still see the older original Galils working. They still use them. Why? Because the thing is built like a hammer.
Gotcha.
They wanted to build it once, and they wanted it to work, and it really does. It's a unique system, but it works well.
It's unique, and it's unique in a good way, because sometimes systems that are unique are a little annoying.
Yeah, people blend the wrong things sometimes.
Exactly.
I think they blended the right things.
At least from what I'm feeling right now, I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even put a compartment in the pistol grip to add accessories. They took that from, we do that here a lot.
Yeah.
So that made sense to do it.
We like options.
We like options. We really do. And it turns out a lot of other folks like options
too,
as well.
yeah.
So the civilian version of this is, like I said, the Gap. It's called the Gap 556 SB, which is the Galil Ace pistol 556 stabilizing brace. Looks very similar to that, short package, and it comes in all 3 calibers.
Now the brace, does it look visually comparable to this? Or
Sort
more
of.
so
It's the SB tactical
Gotcha.
brace.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Perfect. Which is a great brace.
It works well.
Yeah.
It works well for what you need it to do.
Exactly. I kind of, in case you haven't noticed.
I got news for you. That's a very handy feature. I don't have to take my master grip off
Off
the gun
and
and lock
just-
it back.
yeah.
You know what it reminds me of is the Magpul bad lever.
That's what I was gonna say. It's kind of a
It's in that same
redesigned
location.
version. Yeah, exactly.
Unlike the bad lever, some people
It's
complain that it kind of got in the way of your
Right,
trigger
right.
finger. In this case, it's high enough that it's out
That
of the
way, yeah.
So it happens to work pretty well.
That's cool. Well, I'm looking forward to shooting this one for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna
Most
like
definitely, yeah. I mean, just in hand now, it definitely feels great.
It's very handy.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go to the range.
I may be a little biased, but to me, the Pew Pew life is the ultimate lifestyle.
Can you think of another lifestyle that protects your freedom, protects your life and the people that you love, puts food on the table, helps you bond with family and friends, and provides you sports and recreation?
I can't. Can you? And now you can add hydration to that list with the new line of Pew Pew Life drinkware.
The Pew Pew Life tumblers and bottles are made from stainless steel and feature a double wall vacuum insulation that keeps drinks cold for 24 hours and hot drinks hot for 12 hours. I think it's safe to say that there is no better way to stay hydrated while showing your pride for the lifestyle we all love and cherish. So click the link and order your drinkware today. And remember, the Pew Pew Life equals the people. What's going on, folks? This is Colion Noir. If you like what you saw in this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button that should be located on the bottom left portion of the screen. I mean, come on, who are you fooling? I know you want to.